Good evening, Dr. Vladovic, board members, and Superintendent Cortines. My name is Dr. Suzie Abajian, and I am a professor of education at Occidental College. I received my PhD from UCLA, and I'm here today to speak in support of the Ethnic Studies Resolution. I can speak to you about what the educational research says about the many benefits that ethnic studies programs offer students, but today I want to give you a more personal narrative. My family immigrated to the U.S. when I was 12 years old. As an Armenian immigrant from Syria, and as an English language learner with English being my third language, I often felt invisible in school. My experiences, my culture, my language were not represented in the curriculum that was taught in my high school, which, by the way, had a student population that was 30% Armenian. I was often made fun of because of my limited English proficiency, my accent, my clothes. I was told a number of times to go back to my country. One of the first classes where I felt a sense of belonging was in my American Lit class in high school, where my teacher went out of her way to incorporate African American and Latino literature in the curriculum. Through this class, I learned about the history of slavery, the history of the dispossession and ethnic cleansing of the indigenous peoples of the U.S., the history of immigrants from Mexico and other countries. And in learning these histories, I felt a sense of belonging because I saw my own experiences reflected in the experiences of different communities. I'm advocating for ethnic studies because I believe that every child and every student should feel that his or her culture, history, her story, language, and experiences are included, represented, and celebrated in school. I want every student to feel a sense of belonging, a sense of empowerment. Every student has the right to be seen. Ethnic studies is not only important for empowering Latino students, Latina students, African American students, Asian students, Middle Eastern students, but it is important for all students because it will teach students about the histories, cultures, and struggles of communities other than their own, and about the people's history of the U.S., as Howard Zinn conceptualized it. It is not enough to leave this kind of education to chance. We must make it a requirement, and we must make it accessible to all students. In the age of police brutality and racially motivated shootings in Ferguson, LA, cities all over the U.S., in the age of banning of ethnic studies in Arizona, in the age of restrictive and increasingly anti-immigrant policies in the U.S., in the age of perpetual war that has claimed hundreds of thousands of innocent lives, it is imperative that we lead the way for a more humanizing education and society. The 100th anniversary of the commemoration of the Armenian genocide will be taking place this coming year. And as the granddaughter of genocide survivors, I am here to advocate that we make ethnic studies a graduation requirement in LAUSD, because I believe that learning from the stories of struggles of different communities is what will enable us to create a more humane and just society. Thank you.
Our next speaker, Larry Aubrey. And Mr. Aubrey will be followed by Oscar De La Torre.